Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about pro lawn care versus DIY lawn care. I have been on both ends of that spectrum. When I first became a homeowner, I started, I had a pro company treating it for a couple of months, and they weren't doing, it was like a guy across the street who did his own grass. And what the pros were doing just didn't, it didn't look anywhere near as good as his. And I just couldn't understand it. And we moved in June, and by the middle of August that same year, I fired those guys, and I ended up working for that same company. But I fired them, and I started doing my own. Right, I found some couple of good videos on YouTube. I googled some things, and I went at it, and it took no time to get great results. Like I said, it took over in August, and by Halloween, the lawn was top notch. I mean, it rivaled the neighbor who made me fire the company, right? And then, I guess about 2 years in, I liked uh, uh, doing lawn work so much. I applied at a local company, and they hired me and trained me as a professional. Well, when you're out spraying, um, the same thing that I realized would happen to me, right? So you be spraying, and the customer would come out and they'd say, "Hey, the guy across the street, his why does his lawn look so good? And he doesn't even have a professional company doing it. He does it himself, right?" So naturally, we think as a pro, if you hire a professional, you will get better results. Well, that's just not the case. So um, that's why I wanted to do this video. So um, all credit for this video would go to Lawn Star, right? So I put like an article that I saw in this format. So anyway, let's get into it. Right? In the inside, we all think we can do just about anything we put our minds to. In reality, there are some things that are best left to professionals. That brings us to lawn service. Should you hire a professional lawn service to do your or do it yourself? There are fair arguments on both sides of the spectrum, and we'll cover all the key ones to help you decide if DIY lawn care is something you should consider. Here are some benefits of hiring a professional company. Quicker results. Professional lawn care companies have years of experience managing various types of turf. Whatever's going on your lawn, they've likely seen it and know just what it needs. This knowledge may result in quicker improvement to your lawn. If you have severe lawn damage that needs immediate results, a professional may be your best option. Plus, some professionals even guarantee their work. Can't see the bottom of that. Convenience. Probably the biggest benefit of hiring a professional is the convenience. While the professionals handle your mowing, fertilizing, weeding, and other tedious lawn tasks, you can tackle other things around the house. Plus, if you work a job with flexible hours or an on demand side gig like an Uber driver or a freelancer, you can use the time to earn extra cash to cover the service costs and still have a little bit of spending cash. Specialized products. There are some lawn products that the government regulates heavily and limits to only professional use. These are often more potent and deliver better results than what you can pick up at the local home improvement store. Now, this is true. I was just looking at a product that we spray professionally called Q4, and the retail over the counter version of that is called Spectracide. Same ingredients, just less potency. And you're hooking that to a hose and sprayer, which is going to dilute it more. But anyway, these are more specialized products that can lead to a more rapid and longer lasting results than you get with DIY products. So I agree with that. Insurance. When you hire a professional, always hire one that's bonded and insured. Also, never depend on the company telling you about its insurance. Many states have a department you can call to verify lawn care companies' license, bonds, and insurance. Do an online search to see what department handles licensing in your state. You can then call the department to verify the company has valid license, insurance, and bond. When using an insured and bonded company, you can rest assured you're covered if the lawn company damages your property while performing its work. Anything from accidentally breaking a sprinkler head to damaging your vehicle with its equipment will be covered. Cons of hiring a professional lawn service. Lawn care companies have a lot to offer homeowners, but there are plenty of drawbacks to hiring a pro to handle your lawn as well. The biggest issue of hiring a professional lawn care service is often costs and commitment. Lawn care companies must buy product they put on your lawn and cover tons of other overhead expenses, including purchasing and maintaining the equipment, fuel, insurance and bond, payroll, fleet vehicle maintenance. Um, these overhead costs get spread out among the lawn care services customers, which can drive cost of hiring a professional into hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. One top of the higher costs, on top of the higher costs, many lawn care professionals require at least a 6 month commitment. Some even require a full year. You can generally save hundreds of dollars per year by purchasing lawn products and doing it yourself. Unknown quality. Another big problem with hiring professionals is not every professional lawn care company delivers the results you expect. Some can be downright terrible. Unlike you, the homeowner, the company has no vested interest in your property. The company didn't pay for it, nor does it have to deal with whispers from the friends and family about how poor your lawn looks. Paired with uninterested laborers, this can lead to poor workmanship and unsatisfactory results. You can do internet searches and check reviews, but these offer limited help as virtually anyone can write a positive Google or Yelp review, including the business owner, their employees, and all their family members as well. They can fake these reviews and can bury negative reviews, making it a company look better than it actually is. Now, one of the companies I worked for two companies. One was ran very well, and the other one wasn't. One, I mean, they used the cheapest products. They didn't want to upgrade equipment. They fired one guy because they found out he was not even doing a route. So he was literally going to people's houses, putting an invoice in the door, and hadn't sprayed anything. Um, and he was only really spraying the caller heads. So when you have a professional company, and if you can opt for them to call you the day before or the day of, um, if you have a dog or you need to unlock gates and these type of things, that's who would utilize that. Well, he was only treating the lawns that had the caller heads. So this is true. This is true. Lack of control. A final key drawback to consider when debating DIY or professional lawn care is the control you'll have. When hiring a lawn care company, you show the representative your problem areas, and the technician applies what they think is right for your lawn. You have virtually no control over what the products the tech uses. So, if you want all organic products, you have to find a professional who offers that service or do it yourself. Now, what are the benefits of DIY lawn care? DIY lawn care offers tons of benefits you'll miss out on by hiring a pro. One is exercise. I'm a heavy guy, and uh, I can get out there on that grass and I'll come back in sweating. So it is a good workout. But let's get to this. It's sometimes hard to sprinkle in a little exercise into our busy lives. By handling lawn care service yourself, you'll get some exercise while getting work done. Sure, it's not like hitting the gym and targeting specific muscle groups, but you'll get plenty of walking, lifting, crouching, and standing. Saves money. Saving money is one of the biggest benefits homeowners are looking at when considering DIY lawn care. Without the additional overhead lawn care professionals have, you can save hundreds of dollars per year. A lawn care company may charge you 600 to almost 1,700 bucks per year, according to remodelingexpenses.com, to manage an average 11,000 square foot lawn. However, you can pick up enough liquid fertilizer to handle the same lawn for around 5,500. If you're fertilizing twice a year, that brings your annual cost to just 110. Well, I don't know who's only treating their grass 2 times a year, but even on the lower end of professional service cost spectrum, you'll save just under 500 per year, according to that study. Use the fertilizer you want. For those who love being in control of their domain, DIY lawn care is a must. When doing your lawn servicing, you can choose whatever product you like, right? You want to go all organic? You can. You want to increase the nitrogen? You can. That's totally doable with a nitrogen rich fertilizer and so on. And so this is something I learned myself, right? I got into DIY, and everybody used to use a product called Maloganite. So when I first started, my world revolved around Maloganite, right? And that is, the product that popped my cherry, so to speak. I got great results. But then you learn about different sources of nitrogen, cost per application, um, and so in that particular product, it got hard to find, and so I found even better ones, right? And so as you learn, you'll learn about different ingredients, and you'll have a plethora of go-to products for different times of the year. Okay, you can use the weed control products you want, right? When dealing with weeds and other lawn problems, quick action is half the battle. If you see a patch of dandelion sprouting or a fungus starting to grow, an early attack makes it easier to control. As a DIYer, you out on your grass every day, so you can perform these services as soon as you spot the issue. If you rely on a professional, you got to wait weeks for their next service to show up. And it is true. When I was with the first company I was with, um, we had a like this one fancy customer. He owned like a couple funeral homes, right? So he was well to do, and I was in training, and he comes out in the backyard, and we were packing up, and he tells the guy that's training me, he's like, "Hey, you didn't see that moss growing in the backyard?" And the guy is like, "Oh yeah, I saw it." So he's like, "So you weren't gonna say anything about it? Maybe I need to hire another company." And I was like, "Ouch!" Right? So if he was, doing his own, well, I mean, this guy was, I presume, into millions of dollars. It was a big fancy house, and we also sprayed his one of his funeral homes. So he's not going to do it, but he would expect the company to tell him what he already knew. But anyway, if you when you're out there on your own property, you can see the problems as soon as they come up, and you can find out what's the best product to fix that. Education. Not every lawn care professional is out looking for other issues in your lawn, right? Just like I said, that is true. A lot of these guys that's spraying your grass as a pro, I mean, honestly, they don't even have homes of their own, right? I mean, the guys I was working with, a handful did, but their lawns didn't even look good. I would go. You have guys that's been spraying with this company for 10 years. I go to their property and their lawn looks great. They just weren't into it. So most lawn fertilization companies will let you know if you have a chinch bug issue. Uh, Here in Maryland, we see more grubs and a little fungus here. Wherever a landscaping company, for example, likely won't notify you of your problems with your turf's health. If you're handling all your lawn care yourself, you can keep a active eye out for fungus, weeds, bugs, and other issues, even if you're just out mowing. This is true, right? So, as a pro, you'll get customers calling and complaining, and because of what happens in between the service times, which might be a month to a month and a half or so, depending on what type of plan you have. And they'll call. We've had customers that'll call and have you come out for like one weed growing, right? That they just could have picked up, but they're like, no, we pay for this. you gonna come you gonna come pick it up. So cons of DIY lawn care. There are many valuable benefits to DIY lawn care, but there are a few drawbacks to consider before diving in. It's learning curve. While you'll become a relative lawn care expert with time, you've got to start somewhere. As a novice, you'll have a steep learning curve ahead to reach DIY expert status. This can lead to costly mistakes along the way, like lawn burning from incorrect fertilization or applying the wrong post emergent herbicide and killing sections of your lawn. I have done or seen both of these done. When I started out, the first thing that I got was like one of these Scott's 3-in-1 bags of like weed and feed, which I recommend you never use those the 2-in-1 and 3-in-1 type of products. But man, I didn't know any of the basic steps that I should know first. I just went, I bought that, and looking back, Scott's in my area, they have the biggest shelf space in Home Depot and Lowe's. And so you just assume that's the good stuff. Um, Bought a bag of that, came and spread it out. I mean, it was a 15,000 square foot bag, but when you are new, you don't pay any attention to any of those numbers, right? I put it in the spreader and went on about my way on the grass, and the spreader actually fell over, and it was a mess. I ended up with a huge burn spot. Um, there, it was clumped up. It was a mess. Another thing I had to learn was uh, looking at like YouTube videos that make it look easy. Like it'll be, they'll do like this transformation video, and the video is 10 minutes, and you just get a false sense of the work that goes into it. But that being said, once you learn the basics, like I say, I took over in August, and by Thanksgiving, it was great. So it's not that much of a learning curve, right? Especially when you get in, like what products you need to be buying, right? What's a good beginner weed killer? What's a good beginner fertilizer? What tools do you need, right? And, how much property do I have? Well, there are some basics that if you learn those, you can avoid that curve at all. You can get some fertilizers that no matter how much you put out won't burn, right? It's diminishing returns, but unless you fall over with the spreader like I did, and a pound of fertilizer goes in one spot and you can't get it all up, then you should be okay. Hidden costs. As a DIY, you generally lack the experience to fully understand the most beneficial chemical mixtures for the type of turf you have and your soil type. You'll gain this experience over time and with experimentation, but this can result in added costs while figuring it all out. Also, you may lack the experience to predict oncoming seasonal lawn issues like crabgrass or other weeds. Without this ability to foresee issues, you may miss critical pre emergent weed control, leaving you with unsightly weeds that will take more time and money to eliminate. This is true. Once you learn a system in what part of the year, which I'll be making more videos on, what goes down when, you can avoid all of this. At the beginning of the season, you put down what's called a pre-emergent, and that stops weeds from germinating once the weather breaks. And 55 degrees is the soil temperature that kind of the season kind of revolves around. Well, that's your first one. So at 55 degrees, crabgrass and other things can start germinating in the soil, not degrees outside the actual soil temperature. So it's products that you put down prior to that to block that from happening, right? So that's a big one. Um, but DIY lawn care is for the average homeowner. There's no doubting the benefits of hiring a professional. The experience they bring to the table is invaluable. However, the average homeowner can reap many more benefits through DIY lawn care. You may run into struggles along the way, but the new skills you gain, the money you save, and the ability to control what goes onto your lawn easily makes up for early struggles. The key is to get started, Know and establish a healthy lawn, which will give you a small buffer to compensate for early missteps. And that's the end of my slides, guys. So I hope this was informative. This was just one of my favorite articles. And like I said, this came from Lawn Star. Um, if I can find a link, I'll put that in. I gotta learn how to do that stuff. But yeah, you get a lot of people wanting to know whether it's even worth it. And to me, it if you have under if you have a manageable amount of square feet, I would say yes. At my house, I have like 4,500 square feet. Everybody in my neighborhood has pretty much the same amount. That's doable. My brother has about 10,000 square feet, right? That I help him out with. That's easily doable. So, but as a pro, you'll treat properties that I've walked lawns that are probably bigger than like the property around my school growing up, right? And my school had a basketball court, a baseball field, soccer fields, and you'll get out there and you'll realize that it's people with huge properties. So in a case like that, I don't know, right? I'm probably am not walking like a 2 or 3 acre property, but if you have you know under 20,000 square feet, you can definitely master your own property and be the best or one of the best in your neighborhood, right? That is what I would consider manageable. So in some videos moving forward, we'll talk about entry points, like what as a person brand new to this, um, what should you be doing, right? So look forward to those videos, and thanks for tuning in to this one, and I'll see you soon.